Thank you. We're live.
All right, everybody, welcome in, welcome in. As folks are taking their seats, silencing their cell phones, I want to welcome all of you watching by internet, by Facebook, to the...
We're starting, everybody.
That's right, everybody be quiet, please. Thank you. Thank you, be quiet, please, thank you.
The teacher and me couldn't let it go.
Well, yes, we're at a zero voice level, as we say. So it's 10:30 on Wednesday, August 20th. This is the UED meeting. First, my name is Anthony Archie, represent District 2. First order of business is to call the meeting to order. Number 2, Sarah Gilpin. Will you join us at the table? We are going to talk to her about her appointment, potential appointment, to the River Parks Authority, replacing Marvin Jones as the Tulsa Metropolitan Area Planning Commission appointee, whose term expires April 8th, 2028, from Council District 4. Welcome, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you tell us, for those folks who are watching online who don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about who you are and what, why you want to join, why you want this position.
Sure. I'm Sarah Gilpin. I'm brand manager at Williams Companies. I've been there for 5 years. I was approached by Mr. Edwards about this position several months ago, and it interests me because my background is working for Gathering Place, and I really enjoyed making our public spaces accessible to our community. And on a personal level, my dad loves Turkey Mountain, or he did love Turkey Mountain. He passed away in May, and so I was able to share that journey with him of this appointment, and he was so excited because he too loved the outdoors, loved nature, and making our public spaces available to all.
I love that. I love it. And Turkey Mountain is in our district.
That's right.
Anyone will have any questions or comments? Councilor Bellis and then Councilor Bangle.
I'm kidding.
No,
You're racing, you didn't know.
No, you've been here a while.
No. I just want to thank you for serving on more than one authority board and commission. I know that's a lot of additional regular meetings. I really appreciate your continued civic engagement and that accessibility lens. I feel like I've said this to you related to other commissions, but please, if you have policy recommendations from your time serving, I know especially with all the complexities when it comes to river parks, please bring them to this table. I feel like sometimes authorities, boards, and commissions hesitate or wait till they have some unanimous vote on a policy suggestion, but you all are getting so much valuable information and diving in, and please don't hesitate to bring forward even a policy suggestion, even if you guys haven't 100% vetted it, it's still worth starting and initiating a conversation or process. I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody here at this table. The accessibility to everybody, if I reach out and I have a question, is really important and valuable to me.
Yeah.
As I lead this role. And then also too, I also serve on the Asian Affairs Commission as the chairperson, and very excited to be civically engaged.
I love it. I love it. Councilor Bangle.
Yeah, so I'll just ditto what Councilor Bellis said, and I was joking with Sarah. I said, I haven't seen you since you overloaded a building. So,
Right.
yeah, for the Lunar New Year, it was such a great event. So, yeah, thank you for being willing to serve on two
Absolutely. It's my
boards
honor.
simultaneously.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So we will be voting on your appointment next week, August 27th, 2025. More than willing, or feel free to come and you can speak if you'd like. And thank you so much for joining us today.
That sounds great. If any of you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer that. So you can reach me at sarah.gilpin@williams.com.
Awesome.
Thanks to
Good
you.
to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. All right. Item number 3, Bruce Nemi, appointment to the Metropolitan Tulsa Transit Authority, replacing Adam Doverspike, whose term expires July 31st, 2028, from Council District 4. Bruce, will you join us? Absolutely. Please take a seat.
Good morning.
And just for a moment, share with us why you chose to put your name in the hat for this
They can hear you.
role.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You're great.
I just was hopeful the TV could hear me as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Good morning. My name's Bruce Nemi. I live in Council District 4. My address is 216 West 17th Place. That's across the street from the Syringe Building.
I'll come and visit, yeah. That was-
And I'm very happy to be here. I'm honored that Mayor Nichols appointed me to this position. It's really important to me to be involved in public transit. It's kind of a lifelong interest of mine, going back to when I used to take the bus to school and to ride to events and that sort of thing. And that sparked an interest in urban development and attending to see the city, from the ground up. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Absolutely. Anyone have any questions or?
Thank you for your willingness to
Yeah,
serve. Bruce.
obviously.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Counselor Bengel, was that
That
what you were
was
saying?
exactly what I was gonna say.
No, I just think, Counselor Bush and I were in a meeting talking about 61st and Peoria and how that particular area, there is so many take public transportation and bikes as well, but wonderful. Let's see here. August 27th, we will be voting on your confirmation. Feel free to attend, and if you want to speak at that meeting, you are more than able to. So thank you so much for being here.
I look forward to your meeting on the 27th and service on this commission.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
All right, item number 4, ordinance amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget to make supplemental appropriations of $45,000 recognized from grant revenues to be received from the Dick's Sporting Goods Foundation and the Oklahoma Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust within the Culture and Recreation Non-Federal Grants Subfund. Jared is with us.
Good morning, Jared Moore from Budget. This is just appropriating 2 awards that were given to the Parks Department. I believe it's $5,000 from Dick's Sporting Goods and $40,000 from the Tobacco Settlement Fund. They'll both be used to purchase sports equipment and do community activities.
Wonderful. Anybody have any questions? Counselor Hall Harper?
What project or park will this equipment go to?
I don't think it was dedicated, or if it was, the city was awarded it as a whole. I have not been told of any one specific park that it will be utilized for. I suspect it will be for equipment to be dispersed amongst several, as far as, $45,000 goes. You probably need to speak to somebody in parks for that.
It looks like part of it is gonna be on the Osage Prairie Trail, which is in District 1. That's what I read in the backup material. Funds will be
Farther
used
than
to,
one district, but yeah.
Right.
I was just wondering.
um,
He said this is-
Counselor Gilbert.
Thank you. Is this specific for youth or adults or non-specific?
Youth, children K through 12.
Thank
Good
you.
question.
All right. Anyone else? Are you sticking with us?
Yeah, I'm here for a little bit.
All right, awesome. All right, item number 5. Ordinance amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget to make supplemental appropriations of $1,000 recognized from Tulsa Community Foundation donation received with the General Government Non-Federal Grants Subfund.
So I could perhaps let Sarah speak on this, but essentially this is a $1,000 donation from TCF that will be used to purchase promotional and public recognition items.
That's correct.
Yes, do you have a slideshow of potential merch that will be?
So we have previously designed apparel for you to wear at your official events, that not all people that work here have, because they didn't work here when we originally ordered those. So it will catch everybody up, and then the remainder will be used for those public recognition items, like challenge coins and things like that, that are governed in your council rules under the public recognition protocol.
Any questions?
Thanks to our benefactor.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, TC.
Is in the council rule to seek donations for those types of items.
Wonderful. Okay, item number 6, ordinance amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget to make supplemental appropriations of $231,500 recognized from unappropriated fund balance within the Equitable Sharing Justice Subfund.
So this is appropriating $231,500, as you stated. This is from the Equitable Sharing Justice Fund. These are proceeds from assets that were seized during law enforcement activity with multiple jurisdictions participating. The funds go into, the monies go into these funds, and then the police department, in this case, can make requests to use it for certain purposes, and if eligible, then that's what we'll appropriate from that fund balance for them to use. In this case, it'll be for a analog x-ray system, a digital x-ray for the bomb squad tech, and some miscellaneous safety equipment for the officers, as well as cover the FY26, the portion of the FY26 agreement for the Mayor's Police and Community Coalition, Hannibal Johnson and law enforcement activities.
Wonderful. Any questions, comments? Oh, wonderful. Item number 7. Here we go. Ordinance amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget to transfer available appropriations of $4,026,700 between departments, projects, and account groups within the Walmart opioid settlement subfund.
Can we read 8 too?
Oh, yeah. Should we do that? Okay. Okay, number 8, ordinance amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget, transfer available appropriations of $341,000 between departments and account groups within the pandemic relief fund. All right.
So this item was requested, so you discussed this at committee, at your last council meeting. It was requested to be put back on for any additional questions, and so I know the mayor's office is here for this item. Probably invite them on
Should we
up,
want
but-
to welcome Mayor Nichols and Emily Hall? And
Thank God you're sitting by me. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Sometimes my inner voice just doesn't know how to control itself.
Oh, everybody here would agree with that.
100%.
we want to welcome the mayor's team to
Now it's
the council. Councilor Dutton, you had a question, and then we'll just throw it to the mayor.
So I just wanted to say that I had my questions answered this weekend, and so I'm grateful for the further explanations I got regarding the funds.
Okay. Mr. Mayor or Emily, Director Hall, do you have anything you want to contribute or say concerning the appropriation of these funds, or what you hope that these funds will accomplish?
I think there's a question.
Oh.
Oh, no, I didn't have a question so much as a thank you. Just so folks know, and I don't know if this was sent out to everyone yet, but Emily really kindly put together an FAQ related to this. That way we have quick links that when constituents ask those questions, we all have like the same information to share. So I really appreciate you putting together that information so that we can just all fire off that same information. And so I really appreciate that FAQ being made. That's really helpful.
That's great.
Do we have like a tiny URL or something that you want to share?
I haven't made one, but
Or is
We
it like
should.
City of Tulsa / something?
a tiny
that we
URL,
can-
like a short little.
Oh, a URL.
Yeah, a short
That's
link
fine.
that we can
Yeah.
talk
I
about.
know what those are. I just.
Okay, we will get it. Yeah. Well, I'll make a social media graphic once we make one.
For now, for anyone watching, it's cityofTulsa.org/path-to-home-/safe-move Tulsa.
It's just path to home, / path to home.
But it's under the Safe
Yeah.
Move Tulsa
Yeah.
stuff, if you're looking for the FAQ.
Yeah, I'll definitely post it as well.
Well, we have media here that I think is here for this item, so they can also share.
Councilor Director Wright?
I just have a question, so, the announcements and everything is about 6 million, but we're only focused on this, just like 4.3 right now, so just to clarify, the other 1.6 is coming from ARPA? Okay, and when is that budget action expected?
We've already taken it.
We've already
So, to commit the funds back last probably November, October, even probably before that, we committed several projects into a bigger bucket, so they're already in the appropriate account to spend.
So they're waiting for this to make 6?
Yes.
Because that was the question I was getting from people, is like, I only see on the agenda this, so how are we at six?
Yeah,
So
it's because we had to take that budget
Okay.
action already,
Maybe we
before
can-
that obligation date.
articulate that in this FAQ, because I think people are trying to keep track of like the dollars.
Where the dollars are, right,
Mm-hmm.
sure, that's good, that's a good point.
Counselor Gilbert and then Counselor
No,
Dutton.
I didn't have any question. I was just
Oh, yes.
scratching my
No,
throat.
just want to be extra.
Don't bid. You don't want the item.
I
don't bid.
wasn't.
You bought it.
I was
Too
not
late.
throwing
Be very
fingers
still.
or.
$4 million.
No, it stood on my hands.
Counselor Dutton?
Yeah, I just wanted to also make sure that the public knows that these are renewable funds for the opioid settlement, is that correct?
Renewable? Are they one time?
They're one time?
They're one time.
Okay.
There's opioid settlement funds out there.
Right, we
Yeah.
could apply for
That's
future
what I mean.
opportunities.
Yeah.
The city gets direct deposits, there's also the abatement grant application process, there's different funds, but it's not automatic. We will have to
Specifically,
move
right.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
So-
the access is there?
the access is there, yeah.
Okay, that's.
It's
For now.
If it-
with the plan.
I would say if it's helpful, because I know like, I had some, when we went through the budget process earlier, when I was like a little bit confused at one point about like what comes to us, what do you have to apply for? The grant where you gotta have multiple organizations come together to get it. We could probably pretty easily get together a clean sheet, just like where we are today, but for future years, what are the possibilities? Counselor Bush knows this better probably than anybody. But it might be helpful to see like what the city stands have come to it over the next, is it how many?
18.
18 years, yeah. So there's a number that's there and there's a separate number we can go and apply for. So we can put together a clean sheet on just like all those things on the opioid side in particular.
Yeah, it is confusing.
It is very
The
confusing,
settlements are all different,
yeah.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
but it's not, I just didn't want you to think it was automatically
Right, no,
every year.
well,
$4
yeah,
million
so
is
the
going to
terminology I
renewing.
used was
Yeah.
not, you have
Yeah.
to apply.
And I think that's helpful to know because some folks are asking me, well, if it's successful and we want to continue it, how are you going to fund it? And so that's the question. Counselor Dr. Wright and then Counselor Bellis.
Thank
Wait,
you.
would you mind if I just clarify something you
Sure.
said really quick? I just wanna highlight that, once again, this is work that already happens. So it's like not if it's successful, it's we know that this can be successful, and also that there's really what we're doing is matching existing dollars that community-based organizations are already spending. So just a quick reframe, sorry.
Yeah, we're scaling up successful programming by adding our dollars to the private dollars.
Yes.
But good distinction that if we prove this out
Yes.
with the city coming through, then we can maybe have a stronger application for the next go-around. The other thing I learned about the opioid settlement dollars, because through this discussion with constituents, they were very concerned that these dollars, much like COVID, right? We said it's COVID recovery, and so people were very literal, like it has to go to people that have COVID actively or something. So as I have learned, opioid settlement dollars can also be for prevention of falling into addiction with vulnerable populations, which of course this will do. And then the other concern, I have the highest number of multifamily units in the city, and not always great actors that own them, and so a big concern in my community is like, how do we make sure rapid rehousing dollars from our side of the coin don't go to known bad actors? And so in visiting with the folks that are successfully doing this, I learned that they have some checks and balances from their own operations of this rapid rehousing program, and they're doing their own inspections. They have like a higher level of scrutiny maybe that they put, because they know that their clients they're rehousing are already traumatized, and so they don't want to go anywhere near units that have already had a reputation for needing to pull people out. So that is a reassurance to me. The community partners that are doing this work, like the Day Center
Well, Mm-hmm.
and
Mark Smith, yeah.
YWCA, they have their own internal kind of requirements for what a unit needs to be looking like. That might be a higher level of scrutiny than maybe even we have. We kind of have minimum standards that we need to meet, and because they know their clients and really the needs, they have a little higher level. So I feel a little bit better about that, because yes, we need to house people, but we need to not house them in places and spaces that we know just repeatedly have been problematic. So I feel better about that, and I just wanted to say that at this table, to assure people.
Counselor Bush? Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
I am gonna say something. The opioid monies, because I've been asked this question, I appreciate that comment because I've also learned that. There are checks and balances. This just isn't a blank
Right.
check. And we go willy-nilly, with it, because it's not taxpayer dollars, right? These are settlement funds, but there's still checks and balances that these monies have to be spent accordingly. And I just want to thank Emily for doing the due diligence to make sure that everything is compliant and copacetic with that. Because it gets complicated. And I really do appreciate it, and I feel extremely secure in the fact that we are doing all the things that are gonna be copacetic to those settlement funds. So I appreciate you working with this, but I want the public to know, these aren't taxpayer dollars, these are actually settlement funds that we have some discretion to use, but there's still measures and matrices we have to meet. So,
That's good. No, go ahead.
The only thing, I just want to, just a note of appreciation. I think when we met in, was it December or January?
January.
January. I remember, it was like it was
Sure was.
yesterday. It was January. And we, talked about the places that we wanted to go to begin to address this issue. I know this is an area that we wanted to get to at some point, and it's taken some work and all of us trying to figure it all out. And I know this does not solve the entire issue that we have out in front of us, but I just want to say how much I appreciate, everybody who's asked a question, leaned in, help us try to figure it out as a team. I think this is at least a good kind of first big major step with all of us working together, and it's built on the work that started before I got here, the thoughtfulness and how do you do something like this. And so really it's a note of appreciation, because I know it did require, you all probably taking a lot of questions from people. You maybe even got a few phone calls from folks. And I really do deeply appreciate it. Sarah also told me sounds like I don't have to do anything. She already has the opioid stuff teed up for everybody. So if you have additional questions after that, ask Sarah. No, I was kidding. We're happy to answer any questions that we can, but I think Sarah has everything. But I just really want to come down and tell you that I really do appreciate it. I think there's no such thing as 100%ers in this work. So some things we're going to be super successful at. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to come back to the table and figure out how do we continue to resource things like this. But to be as transparent as possible on the challenges that we are surely going to face, and figure out the best ways we can mitigate those in the future as we kind of continue this path to getting where we want to go. So just thank you all.
Yeah, wonderful. Counselor Gilbert?
Yeah, so Emily and Mr. Mayor, with those checks and balances, with all of this money, would you mind coming quarterly to give updates so that we can follow and track as well?
One thought, yes, and I don't know if the original working group that was set up around this work that predated my time in office here, if that is a forum to bring updates, or if this is, whichever one, you all are, helping appropriate this money, so whichever one's appropriate, we'll follow your
Yeah.
lead and we'll show up to do whatever we need.
I would appreciate having the updates here.
Sure.
Just so that all of us, all 9 of us are
Perfect.
updated.
Be happy to.
Along with the public.
Be happy
So.
to. And Counselor Dr. Wright, to your point on like where people are going and stuff like that, if there are some particular areas of concern that might not be caught in a general update, just the freedom to either us or whomever, I want everybody, because we're working through, so there's a lot of technical questions about the mechanics of everything. Some of those mechanics are going to get worked out, and I think it's going to be really important that as we might have a lot of curiosities as is, if it's going to work as we hope, I think in real time, that'll be very revealing. And so even in the in-between time, between the times that we might be here, would hope that everybody is as engaged as you want to be, and any questions you might have or anything you want to see, anything you want to know. We're doing it all together and want to make sure everybody feels very comfortable asking any questions, seeing anything that you need to see. Because again, we're going to have to make additional decisions about how we resource this work, and we're all on a learning journey together on it. So.
Wonderful. Counselor Bangle?
Yeah, so kind of, I think there's a message under there somewhere about accountability,
That's right.
about what the administrative costs are, where all these monies are used, so we can see where the high bars are of need. So I appreciate you asking that question.
And I spoke, and then after I say this, I'll throw it to Counselor Dexter Wright. I spoke with Mark Smith. He communicated to me that as services are being provided, as invoices are being paid, all of those receipts, invoices, transactions are being stored under the member number or file numbers. Obviously, we don't have the personal, we wouldn't have access to the personal information, but there's a way that they're tracking just down to a granular level how much, how many dollars are spent on each individual case. And so there's a, you know, and also he said that some of the partners that they're working with, they're going to resource them with those, with that ability as well. So like, everybody's going to be on the same page as far as tracking how the money is spent. So I felt great about that as well, because I know accountability is very important. Counselor Dexter Wright.
Sure, I just wanted to say, tagging on to what the mayor shared, like, this is accelerating one piece of the very multifaceted approach. It is on at 5 o'clock tonight. There are advocates across the city that if you want to come and speak your piece about it, definitely do. This is not a substitute for still pursuing permanent supportive housing,
That is correct.
transitional housing.
That's right.
Right? Some of this is going to move people who are just on the edge of being, you know, unsheltered and then back into housing. I just also do want, for myself, set the expectation. Some of the very high visibility of our most vulnerable citizens experiencing multi-factors that have led to them being on the street, we're still gonna see them. And we should see them until we really make all the policy decisions that we can at our level. But I've gotten a lot of questions from people of like, you know, well, once the 6 million's put in, we're not gonna see X, Y, Z that we normally see. And I just wanna say, yes, you will, until some of these other things have happened. And some of the solutions are upstream of us at the state and federal level. And so for advocates who feel very strongly, yes, keep coming to the city, but we cannot solve all this ourselves. I think for a long time, philanthropy and religious institutions in our city were asked to do the bulk of the work, and here we are coming to the table as government for the first time in a very historic way. But I just do want to align expectations that, you know, this is one piece that we have identified gets bogged down in the system. We still need more affordable housing units. We still need middle income and upper income housing units, so people that want to move out of their starter house. Like there's a whole system, and the path to home work that we did on the 3H task force informs all that, and that's what's on, you know, those recommendations are still out there. This is a very specific piece of it. And to everyone's point here, the 6 million will accelerate some of the great successes that our partners are already having, but it's gonna take more. And so I appreciate Counselor Archie asking, you know, for ideas about how much investment per case. Every case is different. We know some will be resolved within weeks or months, and some are gonna need that full runway and beyond. So I just, I don't wanna set the expectation that $6 million is magically going to, you know, resolve all of this. I think we all understand that, but sometimes in a 1-minute news report, you know, it's very rose-colored glasses, and I want our citizens to know this is the #1 issue that was on the campaign trail last year for all of us, and for some of us that have been doing this a long time, that is different, because a lot of times the #1 issue is roads and streets, which is now, I guess, in the second position. Still very concerning for a lot of folks. But this is the #1 issue. We know that it is. I think we're starting to see some of the state level folks look at how to address it. I'm not saying all the policy proposals are awesome, but they're paying attention in a way that maybe I haven't noticed in the past. So this is a good start to, as Councilor Bella said, come behind and alongside the partners that have proven out that, you know, rapid rehousing works and case management works, and making sure they have that support and not just sticking them in a place and going, good luck. You know, it comes down to even like furniture and
Yeah.
linens and all of the things that we would all need if we were trying to restart our lives, so. I just wanted to say that.
No, I appreciate that. I have a question, and then, what, Director Hall, did you want to jump in?
Oh, no.
Okay, I thought you had raised your hand. Okay. Sorry. So my question
Be
is.
careful, man. You just
I
move if
know,
you think you're ready.
everybody sit on your hands if you don't
No, I'm
ask
just-
a question.
Everybody wants to.
He's got good peripheral.
No.
Goodness.
Okay, so.
Councilor Bacon, did you ever hear?
He's like,
He nodded.
Your
No.
eyebrow moved.
so we recognize 6 million is not a magic bullet, it's not a panacea, but it will make a difference. How are you thinking about telling that story to Tulsans or showcasing where you do see the wins, the sort of narrative or messaging? You know, how you all think about that?
Yeah, which, before you answer that, that was gonna be my
Oh,
question.
was that right?
The-
Well-
Which I'm looking at Michelle, and I know our council staff. I think the marketing tools are gonna be so extremely helpful, because it is so confusing with all the different pots, all the different levels of dealing with the unhoused rapid housing as opposed to those that need the longer runway. A simple graphic type campaign is gonna be super helpful, I think,
Yeah,
in
sure.
explaining what we're doing and how we're doing it, because you're right, Counselor. I mean, the public listens to the 7-second soundbite
Yeah.
or some social media rant, and it's like, no, that's not what's happening,
Yeah.
right? So I think we need to be on top of this,
Yeah.
No, it's good, no, we're thinking of.
One sense I have about it is, I mean, I do think there's part of it where we have to make sure that we are celebrating some of the successes. But you also have to do that while making sure people understand the complexities and the difficulty in getting to that success. So I think it's like a balance there. I do also think, and this is some of the feedback that I heard early on, and Counselor Dr. Wright actually alluded to it, is that at some level, I think a lot of folks are saying, city, we need you to take a chunk out of this. And then let's come to the table and see, like, who else can take other pieces, out of it. So what I think is gonna happen is, in addition to us and some of the service providers who we're working with constantly, I do think you're gonna see some corporate leadership to say, like, how do we come in and help build a broader vision for this community and figure out how do we resource it? So some of that's gonna be decisions that we have to make here. Some of that may come from other sources, but all aligned. And I think that's gonna be the big thing that we have to go and present to people at some point. My thought is, it's something that we're gonna have to effort this fall in some way, shape, or form, and what that could look like. It's gonna be highly informed on the work that happened here. It's probably gonna be informed with maybe the perspective of some other folks, but the work that was done here before I got here, I think everybody knows there's only a few things that you can do that are data-driven, and you gotta resource it, but you gotta hold everybody accountable to make sure that it's working. So I think it's a mix. It's like us showing that, hey, with this resource, we were able to chew off a piece of this. Here's some really good things that happened. Here's some things that were challenges. That informs the next, like, tangible things that didn't go right, tangible things that went really well, and then building a broader plan that helps us get to what I think where we all want to get to is, you know, a lot of people say getting to functional zero is not possible. I think it is if you just take the numbers, if you treat this like a math problem. But there's going to have to be a tangible plan that everybody sees. This is going to inform a significant part of that, I believe. But I don't think we're going to have to do it by ourselves, which is good. And I think the action that you all are taking to move these resources to start is a sign to everybody. It's like, okay, now the city's ready to go. The other thing that I think is really important to note, and I see Gene over there and everybody else who's been meeting on some of the IoT stuff, we're getting really close to getting ready to start to put some of that affordable, those housing dollars in the system as well. And so, on the real positive side, it's taken some time just because, you know, IoT dollars don't come to you as soon as we pass it, but some of those conversations and decisions that were made in the past are actually also starting to come. And so the city is taking on this $6 million piece now. Soon the city's gonna be taking on tens of millions of dollars of pieces out of the housing part. And I think that's gonna make a difference to everybody who's saying, hey, now we are happy to come to the table to figure out what do we have, what else do you need that your dollars can't pay for, where we can put in some gap filling dollars. I think we're well on our way. So again, I know it's been difficult to get here. There's not anybody here who doesn't have, this is probably number one for your constituents. We still got a long way to go, but like, within the next year, if we do nothing else except for what's planned right now, we're about to, we could have like, you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 million going to homelessness and housing that are here from the city. And that's a big, big deal. And you know, obviously, so much of that has happened because of the thoughtfulness of people down here on the fourth floor. So it's really appreciated.
Great. Any additional questions? I'll ask this one question, and you don't have to go very long on it.
No,
These-
that's a
these-
personal attack there.
No, we enjoy hearing you speak. These funds were taken from the
Yes, sir. Agents
residential
only.
care center. What are your plans for the residential care center? What do you think about the future of that project?
You know, Emily probably has a better answer to this. I think that's still a facility that we'll need. Again, we're not, you know, just as the $6 million to do the rehousing program is not a silver bullet, the residential care facility was not either. But it doesn't mean you didn't need either one of them. You need both of them, and there is plenty of need. And our goal is going to be to work with Daniel to make sure that that facility is one that is utilized for people that, you know, can fit that type of a facility with the neighbors around, you know, being happy and supportive. I know we need to work on some public transportation over there and things like that. But I think the future of that facility is it's going to be utilized in some way, shape, or form.
And I'll just add, it brings 59 additional units to meet the need in the city.
A deeply affordable.
Yep,
Yep.
deeply affordable
Yep.
units.
Any other questions or comments? Well, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being a part.
Thank you.
And for your leadership. All right, item number 9, Housing and Urban Development HUD Grant Funding Recommendation from the HUD Community Development Committee for program year 2026 in accordance with Title 12, Chapter 8, Section 804, Paragraph F. The HUD Community Development Committee drafted a priority needs statement for the program year 2026 HUD Annual Action Plan.
Morning, councillors. Bruce Williams with Council Administration. This is just part of our annual process. So every year we do a public hearing, and the committee puts together a list of the priority needs for the Mayor and City Council to approve. We have just started July 1, the start of our consolidated plan of 5 years. So nothing has really changed at the moment. Like I said, we went through quite a lengthy process back last year to get our priority needs for our 5-year goals. So this is just an update on that. So pretty much everything is still needed and still a goal.
Great. Any questions or comments? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, item number 10, discussion regarding the goals, objectives, potential partners, and next steps for the City Council Animal Welfare Working Group. This item is brought to us by Councilor Dutton, Bellis, and Gillibrand.
Hey everyone, so I have a little list going to share of just kind of the animal welfare working group, the goals that we've established, and what some of the next steps are. And I'm grateful to my colleagues who are also part of the group, and they can fill in some of the gaps because I'm transparently so sleep deprived. So, all right. One big thing, of course, that's in motion is supporting fundraising efforts related to the new shelter, which I'll talk a little bit more about kind of some of what that's going towards and what that looks like on the next agenda item. But a big part of this is just, ensuring that we're all participating how we can related to public service announcements and just general fundraising strategies to support the animal services department, as well as all of our partners in the community who are so critical to animal welfare work. So that's a big lift, that's pretty pressing. And then, of course, goal number 2, we are trying to really reestablish a relationship and working dynamic with the Animal Welfare Commission, especially to work on policy solution recommendations together. There are lots of hot button policy issues, and it's a really passionate group of people who serve and attend the commission. Actually, a little update on that, we recently reached out to the chair of the commission to ask for a representative to participate in the animal welfare working group. And they recommended that Elizabeth Hall participate in our working group. And so gonna be, I think she might have just gotten back from traveling, but I'll be double checking with her that she can attend, and that way we'll have a liaison between our working group and that body, especially when it comes to hot button policy issues like TNR or things like that that are really tough to navigate, that people are really passionate about. So that's definitely a thing we're hoping to like tackle more strategically, since that's always been a tough ongoing policy conversation. And then, of course, also working to determine the staff support that's really needed for both like the commission, and then, as you can see in item 3, in the long run, actual shelter staffing too, which we know came up during this past budgeting cycle. And we're trying to get up to a certain level with what's kind of bare minimum needed now, but we know once the new facility's online, there's more to look at. And then within 3, something that I think is exciting as well when it comes to recommendations, et cetera, is really exploring how we can better partner with the county. We're providing animal services for, a region, and providing, shelter for animals for a whole region, including areas that are outside of the city limits, and so that's a conversation to have as well. So that's kind of broad strokes, goals, priorities. I'll ask my colleagues if I missed anything, and then we can have a broader conversation if people want to. Yeah, covered it really well. I know. A lot of exciting stuff that's going on, and how we take care of our most vulnerable constituents, which are also our animals, says a lot about us as a city, so I'm glad that we're focused on this. Right. Any questions from colleagues? Oh, yeah.
I would say I thought it was interesting to hear Colton and Sherry talk about some of the different animals that they're dealing with.
So are you on the working group?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're just not here.
Yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah, I didn't.
He didn't respond to the email.
Oh, to the,
Well, I didn't want to tarnish our image by having my name on there, so.
it's until you adopt the cat, we're not gonna let you be listed.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, was there cat
I keep telling
controversy, and he
people
was
I'm at my
out?
5, don't stop asking.
Just
Cat
that one
man.
cat.
So,
Okay.
I
yeah,
thought it was
it's,
more like, these are dog people, and he's like.
it's amazing the challenges that our animal services deal with in adopting some of those fees and fines. Is gonna be important. And then those cats, the cats from the working group, or from the kitty council?
Yeah.
Whose
I think 5
cats are
of
still
them
here?
have been
Whose
adopted.
cats are still here, Megan? I already got told mine's still there.
Counselor Bangle is still there, I think Counselor Harper, Counselor Dutton, and Counselor Bush, I think. All the other 5 have been adopted.
Oh, yay.
Bunch of
We're halfway
haters.
there, we got a quorum.
Adopt your cat.
Bunch of haters.
It was the most perfectly cast cat. Please adopt it.
I know, it was amazing, so,
That's awesome.
Sure.
the working group is just amazing, and I like, having these discussions with Sherry and Colton to understand the challenges they are. As far as the animal shelter, hopefully with the staffing issues, I still feel like because it'll be a new facility, people will have some excitement about maybe volunteering in a new facility. So we'll see how that pans out.
Anyone else, any comments? All right. Item number 11, discussion regarding consensus of the Tulsa City Council approving solicitation of donations and contributions for the new Tulsa Animal Services Shelter Facility, brought to us by Councilor Bellis.
Yes, everyone always likes when the city asks the community for money. No. So just to clarify, because I have seen some misinformation online related to this, the core of the new animal services shelter is funded by the city. That new facility was made possible with $13.8 million in funding approved by Tulsans. And so, because I've seen things out there going, oh, we're fundraising for these things, why are we building a shelter if we don't have all the money for it? For the core of doing a state-of-the-art facility, that has been funded, taxpayers voted on it, that is there. What we're pursuing with this fundraising campaign is a $3.7 million goal. We have $350,000 so far, so we're at about a little under 10%. And this is there's a fund sitting there within the community foundation where the dollars are going. But what this is for is it's a supplemental campaign called Progress for Paws, right, adorable, alliterative, where what we're seeking to do is there are things that could add to the quality of life for the animals in the shelter and for the staff that were not included in the 13.8 million. With that money that's already approved through the voters, we're building, again, a state-of-the-art facility. These are not just like frivolous, nice-to-have things that we're hoping to fundraise for. They're still important, but we're still gonna have an excellent shelter without them. However, people can really help us get across the finish line. These include things like a sally port, an on-site generator, right? The animal welfare services the animals and the staff, they still have to be there no matter what has happened with the weather. A generator would be huge. Kennel care systems, skylights, share structures in play yards, canine turk in play yards. We'll be able to add additional play yards, right? These things are really important, including for adoptions to happen. The animals need to be able to run around, and people need to be able to go and have those experiences with them. Being able to upgrade some things related to the doors, making sure we have epoxy floors. These are things that in the long run we need to invest in. We can still open, again, a state-of-the-art facility without them, but we could really use the community's help getting some of these key things across the finish line to make this even better. Anyway, so it's called Progress for Paws. That's something people will be able to donate to through the Tulsa Community Foundation. And I just, really hope we can get the community support on this. But I do want to clarify once again that we have responsibly allocated our building a state-of-the-art facility. These are still important things, and we need the community support in getting them. But even without them, we have an amazing facility that's being built. So there's all of that.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I've
Yes.
seen some misinformation.
Yeah, people kept being like, oh, you don't have enough to fit. I'm like, no, it's there, but there are things that could make it so much better for the people who work there and the animals, and we just need a little community help to get across the finish line on that.
What's the total, I'm sorry?
We need 3.7 million. We have 350,000 so far. And maybe
That's already been
that's
invested.
already been invested, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's already 10% of our way there, which is pretty significant.
When is the facility scheduled to open, or what's the timeline for that?
I think we're looking at when in 2026, right?
Next summer.
This summer.
Next summer, yeah.
So that's about, you're gonna be raising money until then?
Oh,
That's
even
great.
past, until then or past that, yeah, we can,
Let's just stay.
yeah, this will be on a rolling basis as we raise funds and then are able to start building things, then we can, not all of this has to happen at once, it could be on a rolling basis. And yeah, my hope is also once the facility opens and people can come see it, and then, we can hopefully keep the kind of this fundraising effort going.
Great. Any questions? All right. I hope everyone will join us at 2:30 for even more excitement. Item number 12, we are adjourned.